So you're thinking about buying a home in the Greater Vancouver area, and you want to know the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, basically what it's going to be like living here. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into in today's video. Vancouver is known for its natural beauty. It's one of Canada's warmest cities, and there's tons of economic potential here. And my favorite part is the outdoor lifestyle. Vancouver proper has a population of just under 700,000, but the whole Greater Vancouver area is about 2.6 million, and that's increasing about 1% every single year. In other videos, I'm going to dive into the suburbs individually, but today we're going to focus on Vancouver. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about real estate in Vancouver, make sure to subscribe below. Tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about what's going on in the current market here in the Greater Vancouver area. My name is Megan Becker with eXp Realty. My team and I get calls every single day from people looking to make a move to or within Vancouver. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, make sure to give me a call, text, or email, and I'm excited to help you make a smooth move to Canada's greatest city. Now let's get into it. Okay, pro number one is the nature. Well, there's no denying it. Vancouver is absolutely gorgeous. I love that almost everywhere I go, I can either see the mountains and or the ocean. One of the great things about Vancouver is that urban planning has really maximized the use of space. There are tons of areas that are designed, whether it's along the seawall, designed to take advantage of the natural beauty, whether that's beaches, sitting areas, lots of parks, and green spaces. You've got all these amazing parks and beaches to watch the gorgeous sunsets, different areas that you can optimize, whether it's the sunrise or sunset. You've got the Stanley Park seawall, which is a 10K loop just west of downtown, going around Stanley Park, which is our rainforest. And there's tons of little activities in there. There's mini golf, there's breweries, lots of sightseeing, and it's a 10K loop that people run, walk, or bike. One of the things I absolutely love is you're so close to hiking trails and mountain resorts. I'm downtown and I'm, depending on traffic, a 20-30 minute drive to North Van, where you've got Grouse Mountain, Cypress Mountain, and Seymour. They're all ski resorts where you can ski or snowboard in the winter. You can mountain bike in the summer. There's tons of hiking trails within there. And then we're about a 2-hour drive from Whistler, which is the major ski resort there in the winter. And then there's downhill mountain biking and tons of hiking in the summer. Well, there's hiking all year round, which is amazing. Another one of my favorite activities here to do is stand-up paddleboarding. There's so many really great spots, whether you're going close to downtown and you've got Sunset Beach or English Bay and you can watch the gorgeous sunset. If you want to take a drive up to North Van, this is one of the things I love to do in the mornings in the summer, is drive up to Deep Cove, which is about a 25-minute drive from downtown Vancouver. And you've got this really secluded cove. It's so calm and peaceful. I love going there first thing in the morning, like around 7:30 in the summer on a weekday, because that's when it's not busy. This place is packed in the summer on the weekends and in the afternoons. But I love going there in the morning on a weekday because you get the gorgeous sunrise there. And lots of times you get to see all the seals. My favorite spot to go stand up paddleboarding in the evening is Whitecliff Park. So this is just outside of West Vancouver, and you get the gorgeous sunset views. There's tons of different landscapes there. You can paddle along the shores and see some of the amazing real estate in West Vancouver. And if you love biking, you're gonna love the 10th Ave bike lane. So this is about 7 kilometers, and it goes from Kitsilano, which is an area on the west side of Vancouver, starting at Trafalgar Street, going all the way along 10th Ave, heading east, all the way to East Vancouver, into the Grandview Woodlands community, hitting Victoria Drive. And if you hit this trail during cherry blossom season, which is March, maybe late February, March, and early April, you are gonna get a really incredible treat. All of the gorgeous cherry blossoms. So you've got these big tree-lined streets of trees that are enveloping this 10th Ave. And during cherry blossom season, it's just like riding your bike through a tunnel of pinks and purples, and it is the most gorgeous sight. Okay, that takes us to con number one, is it's expensive. There's no denying it. All of this incredible nature does come at a price. I joke that it's the ocean and mountain tax. But everything from fuel to groceries, rent, housing, even parking. You park for 10 minutes and you're paying, depending on the area, at least a couple dollars. The biggest reason is that land supply is limited. So you've got these mountains and the ocean, which creates this landlock effect where Vancouver can't expand outwards. So you've got this really high premium for this expensive real estate because of these ocean and mountains. That's why the whole Greater Vancouver area has grown quite a bit in those surrounding communities. And because the population is increasing every year, it's creating this high demand and low supply, and therefore we've traditionally seen over the long term real estate prices go up and up and up. Okay, pro number 2 is the walkable lifestyle. I love this. You want to get 10,000 steps in? Move here. It's one of the greatest things about this city. I love that multiple days in a row, I don't even use my car. I walk to the gym, I walk to meet clients, I walk to get groceries. All of the errands I need to do are within walking distance. And so many of the communities in Vancouver are set up with that walkable lifestyle in mind. And I don't know about you guys, but I just find regardless of the weather, I'm just in such a better state of mind. I'm in a better mood when I'm outside in the fresh air, out in nature, even if it's walking around downtown. I just absolutely love that I can walk to wherever I'm going running errands. If you do need to venture further than a walk, Vancouver has this really great bike system. They're called Mobi bikes, and they're stations in the downtown core, in East Van, and then Kitsilano, Fairview area, where there's blocks of bikes that you can either pay per hour or pay per day, I believe, or you can get a yearly subscription, which I have. So for about $120 a year, I can take a Mobi bike and pick it up wherever I want, drop it off at wherever location, and they're every couple blocks. It makes getting around Vancouver without actually having to own a bike super convenient. Plus, Vancouver has multiple car share programs, companies like Evo and Moto, where you can get on an app and basically pick up a car wherever you want, and then you get paid on a subscription basis, or you get paid per the time that you're using the vehicle. And if you have a furry family member, one of the other things that you will absolutely love when you're taking your dog out for a walk is the multiple dog parks that are all over the downtown core. There's some really great green spaces like Cooper's Park, George Wayneburn, and then there's multiple parks and dog parks throughout Vancouver as well. Okay, con number 2 is traffic. Yeah, that's right. I read a stat that Vancouver traffic was actually worse than LA, which is really hard to believe until you live here and you're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic for no reason. I use Google Maps all the time, even when I'm going locations that I know the directions, but I'll jump on Google Maps to time out different times a day. It's going to be very different. Something that with no traffic could take you 30 minutes. If you hit it at the wrong time of day, it might take you upwards about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours if there's any type of accident. One of the things I always recommend people do if they are looking to move to a certain location within the Greater Vancouver area is test out the commute. Make sure that you're timing it the time of day that you would normally be going to work or taking your kids to school or whatever that is. Time it out, see what traffic is like, because you could be spending, half an hour, whatever that is, an hour and a half in traffic. So if you're choosing a location to live in, you need to be okay with that commute. And if you don't have the ability to come here locally and do that, jump on Google Maps and map out, where you're thinking of living and where you would potentially be working, and look at that, what Google Maps says at different points of the day, so that you can get an idea of would you be okay with that commute. And hey, if you have no choice but to sit in your car for an hour, hour and a half every single day, make sure you have a good library of audiobooks, podcasts, and some good tunes. Pro number 3 is the diversity of people here. I absolutely love that this city attracts people from all over the world, different countries, different backgrounds, and you get to meet and interact with people that have all these different worldly experiences. And one of the things that this does is it makes the food scene here in Vancouver so incredible. I have tried so many different ethnicities of restaurants and foods from living here. So many different types of Asian cuisine, Lebanese, Eastern European, all the different areas of India. It is absolutely incredible. Vancouver is also a hub for a lot of different industries. You've got the film space here, you've got the tech industry, you've got a lot of Canadian company head offices. So there's a lot of different entrepreneurs and business-minded people here. And so as far as networking goes and meeting like-minded people, it is the greatest city, in my opinion, to be in. There's so many different opportunities to network with people from different backgrounds because there's so many different events that are going on. Basically, any interest that you have or any skill that you want to learn, you can sign up for a class or join a meetup group. One of the things I love is that I was a part of a BNI group in Edmonton, and this was traditionally, you go to a Denny's, you order subpar food, you toss your business card in the middle of the table, and then you give a 30-second pitch on why somebody should work with you. It worked, not so great, but it served its purpose. One of the things I love about Vancouver is that same platform, we're now hiking in North Van. So instead of sitting at Denny's, we're hiking, we're having the same conversation, we're getting to know people maybe on a professional and a personal level. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I work with people, I want to know that they're competent professionally, but I also want to know that there's some kind of common interest there. Those types of people are more fun and enjoyable to work with. And I believe that I attract clients that have similar interests as well. And so when I can refer them to different professionals, everyone just gets a really great experience because people want to work with ones who they know, like, and trust. And it's a really great, whatever industry that you're in, it's a really phenomenal opportunity to meet people. And if you're not into hiking, there's tons of different groups. There's walking tours, walking groups, running groups. Vancouver attracts a really, really active population, so there's no shortage of active things to do. There's even like board game meetups or meetups in parks, things like that, if you're not so inclined to like the physical activity side of things. That leads me to con number 3, is I've heard that Vancouver is very cliquey and it's hard to meet people. And this is something that I've heard more than a few times, and thankfully I've never actually really experienced this myself, but I really can understand why people think this. I found that people here, they're busy, they've got families, they've got careers, everyone's got some type of or multiple extracurricular activities. So to add in things, it just takes effort connecting and meeting people. Unlike when we were back in junior high or elementary school, when making friends was easy because everybody had kind of the same goal. People didn't have all these extra things on their plates, and you just went to school and you played and you went home. And so it was a lot easier to facilitate those relationships. Whereas now I find that, people are busy. So the biggest thing that I've learned is that I have to really make the effort. I initiate things. I always invite people, and I don't take it personally if people reject or if people say no. I just, look at it like, okay, they're busy. They're not interested in the activity. And if you create opportunities that are allowing people to come together, like organizing hikes and just inviting people from work or multiple different groups that you're a part of, it creates this really great atmosphere. And I think deep down, people might be nervous to go and extend their hand. So take the initiative and be that one. And I always have to remind myself, if people reject it, to not take it personally, because that does happen. I want to make it really easy for people to get to know me. So I put myself out there. I put myself in new environments. I try to do things on my own so that it puts me out of my comfort zone, so I'm forced to interact with new people. And lots of times I will bring a friend or two along, but I'll really have the goal of really meeting and connecting people. And then after I meet someone at an event, again, I'll make that effort to follow up and book another time that we can meet, or invite them for a hike, or invite them to a workout class. Oh, and I do CrossFit. And in my opinion, that is the best way to meet people, because you have this shared experience of a group fitness class and you're all sweating and exhausted and dying from the hard workout. And it really does create kind of this intangible bond between people. And I've traveled around, and one of my favorite things to do is drop into CrossFit gyms, and you almost have like instant friends. And I would encourage you, if you're not into CrossFit, which
I don't understand why you wouldn't be, but hey.
This video is not about CrossFit. If you're not into that, try another group fitness class because it gives you this hour out of your day, multiple times a week, whatever that is, where you can create this shared experience with people versus just a traditional gym, which you can still make friends there, but that's what I found. That's one of the things I really love about group fitness. Pro number 4 is that Vancouver is very well connected when it comes to public transportation. For a North American city, Vancouver is one of the best. We've got the SkyTrain, which is our light rail system that goes through all of the whole Greater Vancouver area. There's 3 lines. So you've got the Canada line, which runs north-south. It's connected to YVR, Vancouver International Airport, and then south of that, Richmond, and then all the way up to downtown. So that's one of the really nice things is that downtown to the international airport, it's about a 30-minute SkyTrain ride in a direct route. You don't have to get off and change trains. Then you've got the Millennial Line, which travels east and west, which starts in East Vancouver, goes to Burnaby, Port Moody, Port Coquitlam, and will eventually extend west to UBC. And then lastly, you've got the Expo Line, which connects downtown through East Vancouver to cities like Burnaby, New West, Surrey, and then will eventually extend all the way out to Langley. And you've got the C-Bus, which is a very cool form of public transportation. So this is a passenger ferry, which connects downtown to North Vancouver. So it's about a 20-minute ferry ride across the Burrard Inlet, and it goes to Lower Lonsdale. You get off right in the market there in North Vancouver. And then you've got the little ferries that go all through False Creek. These are super cool. They're smaller passenger ferries that fit about 20 or so people. And these connect throughout the whole Falls Creek area from Yaletown, Olympic Village, Granville Island, Sunset Beach. And even if you just want to come and see the sights from a different vantage point on the water, they're a really great activity to do on a summer day. And then you've got YVR, which is Vancouver International Airport. And like I mentioned, it's about a 30-minute SkyTrain ride from downtown, and you've got connecting flights to all over the world. Con number 4 is the homelessness. This is really isolated in the downtown east side, the DTSE, if you ever see that abbreviated. There is a high population in that area. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of drug use, and homeless population sleeping on the streets. I always say, if you've never been to the area, it can be very, very alarming. I walk through that area almost every single day. I've personally never felt unsafe, but you do need to be aware of your surroundings. This is not an area where you are head down texting on your phone. I definitely would discourage that. Have your head up, make sure you're aware of your surroundings. And I've personally never had any instance where I felt unsafe, but you know, if depending on your comfort level, that it might be an area that you might want to stay away from, or just an area that you might want to get some more information about if you're potentially looking at that area. Okay, pro number 5 is the mild climate. Vancouver has some of the mildest winters compared to anywhere else in Canada. We usually only get a couple days of snowfall every single year, and most winters it stays above 0 degrees. And here's the cool part. When it's raining in the city, it's usually snowing in the mountains. So if you have a flexible schedule, this is the pro move in the winter, is you see it start raining in the morning on a Tuesday, and book it as fast as you can up to the mountains and enjoy some incredible fresh powder. And while most Canadian cities are still experiencing winter in February, March, April, here in Vancouver, welcome to cherry blossom season. This is when all the trees around are in full bloom. You've got these gorgeous pinks and purples just covering everywhere on the seawall, East Van, all of the trees everywhere, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Summers in Vancouver are reliably warm with little rain. They have been getting hotter year over year, with a handful of weeks being over plus 30. That's where it's really nice to end the day with a sunset paddleboard. Con number 5 is the rain. Yep, it's rainforest here, so it does rain a lot, especially November to February. But like I mentioned before, rain down here in the city means it's snowing up there in the mountains. So if you can take that personal day, today would be the day to do it. But I get it. There are numerous days in a row, if not weeks, where it's this gray landscape. And it can be really tough for people mentally. I know it affects me. So
One of the biggest things I like to do is just get out into nature. I mean, because it rains so much, it's so green here. And I mean, there's nothing more therapeutic if you're feeling a little down than coming out under the seawall here, taking a walk, and just enjoying the greenery, the water. I mean, the views, I think, just put me in a better mood in general. And obviously, if you can afford it, book a plane ticket to a sunny destination.
And that wraps up the pros and cons of living in Vancouver. I hope you got value from this video. By the way, if you live in the Greater Vancouver area, I would love for you to comment below. Share your pros and cons. What do you like? What don't you like? And I believe that will really help everyone. And just remember, be nice in the comments. My name is Megan Becker, eXp Realty. And if you're thinking about making a move to the Greater Vancouver area, I'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Canada's greatest cities. All you have to do is contact me in the description box below. All my info is there. And until next time, I'm gonna do one of my favorite fall activities. Grab a Moby bike and go for a bike around the seawall.